Okay, you were asked on page 353 to simplify on number 37, sine beta tangent beta plus cosine of beta. First thing is, don't worry about these crazy Greek letters. This is the Greek letter beta, and it's written with this sideways B like this. If you don't like it, then you could write it as sine x tangent x. Hold on, let me clean this up a little bit. You could write this as sine x tangent x plus cosine x. If you don't like that beta, you can just rewrite it for now until you learn and understand these methods. So I told you in the video what we do is we make substitutions to get this thing to clean up. I'm going to give you a hint on this one. We're going to need an LCD at some point to clean this one up. This is one of those problems where you have to have a least common denominator. So one thing I know about tangent is that tangent is sine over cosine. That's being multiplied by sine x, and I better put it over 1. Plus cosine x, I better put it over 1. Why did I do that? Because I told you, as soon as I see this addition, I'm thinking I might have to get a least common denominator. So it's not real hard on this problem. Look, the only denominator I have is cosine. So sine times sine is sine squared. And remember what that means. That just means sine x, the quantity squared, but we typically write the 2 right here. So sine squared x over cosine x, that takes care of this. Plus, I need a common denominator. Well, there's only one denominator. It's cosine. So I multiply the top and bottom of this expression by cosine of x. And now this becomes cosine squared x over cosine x. And I now have a common denominator, so I can bring these two numerators together. And I have that sine squared x plus cosine squared x is all over cosine x. Well, this thing right here is another identity we talked about. Sine squared plus cosine squared equals 1. All right, and these are in your book on the identities section. If you forget any of them, they're in your book. Sine squared plus cosine squared is equal to 1. That's an identity. So now I have 1 over cosine of x. And 1 over cosine of x is the same thing as the secant of x. Key thought on all these identity problems is making replacements with things that we know are true. I know that tangent is sine over cosine. I know that sine squared plus cosine squared is 1. Make the replacement. I know that 1 over cosine x is equal to secant x. They're kind of like working out a puzzle. Once you get used to them, I think you may enjoy them a little bit, but we do need to be able to work with trig identities. And I'll stop there.